Let us continue, shall we? At this rate, it's time for us to return to the original timeline. Am I in the right place? It was quiet. Silent, noiseless, but not quite tranquil. It was the kind of quiet that became something more. A silence that pierced through the building, tearing it away from reality and pulling it into its own dimension. A quiet that was both terrifying and calming, all at once. Silence filled the void where humans used to exist. Now all that was left was the ghosts of those long gone. For those lost to humanity regardless, this would be their new haven. Sebastian opened his eyes, surrounded by that silence. Where? His hands found his temples and he massaged gently, trying to ease the pain that had begun to take over his mind. When that didn't work, he first turned to the room he found himself in. The room was dark. Whether that was because it was night, or because the windows had all been covered, Sebastian didn't know. His eyes scanned everything with growing suspicion. I was at home. How did I get here? Is anyone else here? Hello? Nothing stirred in the darkness. All was still. He jumped to his feet and cautiously took a step forward. The floorboards, damaged from what it looked like years of battling against the weather, creaked underneath his careful footsteps. Hello? Anyone? No one answered. Is any use here? Promise I'm not an exorcist. I'm not even sure how I got here, but I don't mean you any harm. I'm just gonna leave now, okay? Okay, bye. Sebastian walked towards what looked to be the entrance to the house. The door was large and imposing, made of faded wood with deep engravings. Thick scratches ran down the wood. Sebastian took the door handle in his hand and attempted to turn it, but was met with a loud click instead. Locked. Beep. Oh god, Miss Ghost Lady, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to encroach on your territory. I really want to leave, really, so please let me out and I'll never come back and I'll make sure no one ever disturbs you. I'm gonna die. Promise I don't taste good. Look, I'm way too skinny and I have no meat on my bones, but maybe you don't eat humans. You want to take it from my body? Is that it? I'm sorry, but I really need it. We can share if you let me go? Sebastian stumbled backwards, eyes flicking all over the room, till the back of his legs hit a small packing box. It was taped shut. Oh, there's something in here. Sebastian crouched down and put his ear to the box. It was moving from side to side slightly, and a muffled sound came from within. Help me. Come on, Sebastian, you've watched a horror movie or two. Is the ghost more likely to curse me if I open the box or if I leave her in there? Okay, I'm opening it. Here goes nothing. With one swift movement, he ripped the duct tape from the top of the box and pulled open the flaps. Inside was a little girl, with hair almost as pale as moon. Sitting there, huddled in a ball, with tears in the corners of her eyes. She did seem to be a ghost. Little Nini. Are you okay? No. Where am I? I don't know. I just woke up over there. Oh. Come on, let's get you out of the box, okay? Sebastian held out his hand, and silently prayed she wasn't a ghost. When her hand met his, instant relief washed over him. Okay, not a ghost. Thought you were a ghost. Wait, you're not, are you? The little girl shook her head, her long hair flowing from side to side. Okay, that's good. Well, my name is Sebastian. What about you? My name is Nini. Okay, it's nice to meet you, Nini. I'm not sure how we got here, but it's about time we left, don't you think? Nini nodded her head, using her sleeve to wipe the tears out of the corners of her eyes at the same time. Let's take a look around the room, okay? Alright? I think there's other people here. Or there's not. Why is it just the two of us? Sebastian couldn't help but cringe with each step beat the two took around the room. Creaks and groans echoed throughout the house. anyone or anything was nearby, they would have been heard easily by now. Sheets laid across much of the furniture, and dust laid across the sheets. Whoever had once lived here had left quite some time ago. Mr. Sebastian? Yeah? I think there's someone over there. Nini pointed into a dark corner of the room. Dated pieces of furniture concealed whatever was hidden over there. How do you know? I thought I heard someone say something. Okay, well, I'd love to look, but now I'm suddenly thinking about the ghost thing again. There's no ghosts here, silly. Ghosts aren't real. Whoa there, little lady. What do you mean? Of course ghosts are real. Really? Yeah. It was the summer of '64 when I met my first ghost. You're not that old. Nope. Okay, may have never met a ghost, but I'm certain this is a haunted house. How can you know? It's all the telltale signs. 1. Strange noises. It was me, though. 2. All the doors are locked. Couldn't someone else have locked them? 3. It's way too cold in here. Is it in the middle of winter? Lastly, I feel like someone's watching me. Again, I think that's probably me. That's how I know this is a haunted house. Okay, I'll go check over there myself. Don't worry, I'll protect you from back here. Sebastian gave Nini a thumbs up and a reassuring smile. She nodded back enthusiastically, as if she truly believed that he had her back. If you really are a ghost, I want to help you. You got this, Nini. She crept closer and closer. There's someone there. Sebastian crept closer, looking over Nini's shoulder. Indeed, there seemed to be the shadow of someone lying in the corner of the room, mostly hidden. A chair made of rotten wood sat in the way. Sebastian tried to pick it up and move it, but the leg instantly snapped off. He picked it up. Now I have a poking stick. Will he be upset if we poke him? Nah, I'm sure he doesn't mind being poked. Hey. Well, good news, he's not dead. Yay! What? The man with white and black hair sat up rapidly and scooted in the opposite direction of the little girl and the man with the chair leg. You! Bastion, don't worry, we're not here to hurt you. Oh, except her. Who knows what she'll do? Hey, I'm not gonna hurt anybody. Where am I? Well, that I don't know, but I can tell you where we aren't. I don't think this is the circus, or a hospital, or the aquarium. Pretty sure it isn't my house, but not certain on that one. It doesn't look like a school or a... Okay, just shut up. Yes, sir? Hey, what's your name? Mikhail. I'm Nini. Alright, Sebastian, Nini, what are we doing here? I don't know. I just woke up a little while ago and got her out of a box. A box? Yeah, like a packing box, and duct taped shut. Do you know who put her in there? Do you know who put you in there? Nini shook her head. I don't remember anything. So let me get this straight. None of us remember how we got here. Now we're in some kind of haunted house. That's what Mr. Sebastian said anyways. Fine, a haunted house. Why do if I feel like I told you we were in a haunted house, you would have told me to shut up? Because I would have. Mikhail stood from the ground and brushed himself off. Okay, Sev, Nini, we need to get out of here. Where have you searched? What? I said, where have you? What did you call me? Sev. Isn't that your name? Well, people usually call me Sev, but I don't remember mentioning that to you. First mystery. Do we know each other? You wouldn't forget me if we met before. Look at this handsome mug. Yeah, we don't know each other. I wouldn't forget someone with such a big head. Hey, Mika. Mikhail. You seem like a Mika to me. His face turned pink. Ooh. Call me Mikhail, or I'll use that big head of yours to open the door. Seth put up his hands in fake surrender. Fine. I tried the door, but it wouldn't budge. I don't think even my head would change that, Mika. Mikhail. Attention, phantoms. The timer has now begun. You have 2 hours to escape before the house is decimated. Good luck. My hair will decimate this house. Time appeared from somewhere unseen, projected onto the wall. In front of their eyes, it changed from 2 hours to 1 hour 59 minutes remaining. What the hell? Who said that? Wasn't me. No shit, Sherlock. It sounded like it came from a speaker. Is someone watching us? Do you think it's some kind of pervert? No, I think it's someone that wants to see all 3 of us dead. But that seems worse. What's going on? Her large eyes blinked over and over again, as if she was trying to stop herself from crying. Sev knelt down to be eye level with her. It's okay. Someone put us in here. But we're gonna get out again. You just have to be brave. Okay. Need you guys to think. I'm always thinking. Properly, Sebastian, what's the last thing you remember? Nini spoke up first. I was just at home. That's the last thing I remember. Sev. Think I was in a train? No, a factory. Was it a church? Can you be serious for just 5 minutes, please? Now you know I am being serious. It's like my memories are all fuzzy. Did you hit your head or something? I don't think so. Well, I can't really remember whether I did or not, so maybe I did. Forget it. Then what about you? I was with someone. Somewhere. That's very informative, thank you. Like your account's any better. Touche? This is going nowhere. Come on, we need to search the rest of the house. Time's already ticking. Following your lead. Zawada. Someone else. Wait. Mikhail had already moved to leave through what looked like a dark, long corridor. Paused, a look of mild annoyance on his face. What? Please don't say something stupid and waste our time. No, it's just... Aren't we missing someone? Missing someone? Like, shouldn't there be 4 of us? Why? What do you know? Nothing, I don't know anything. It's just a feeling, I guess. We already searched the room. There's no one else. No, we're definitely meant to have 4 people. Sebastian, you're starting to get on my nerves. You know what this looks like to me? Someone purposely stalling us. And what if I am? And I'll be led to believe that you were also the one who brought us in here. Mikhail's body stiffened up. Well, luckily I'm not. I'm serious. I just feel like we're missing someone important. Fine. Then what's their name? I don't know. Rin. Rin? Who? That's who we're missing. We need to find her. If we leave her behind, she might... You're suspicious as all hell. Fine, but if we don't find anyone, I'm going to knock you out and drag you out of here. You got that? Well, now you're making me doubt myself. Good. Nini, you go look near the door again. I'll take the area where I woke up. Sev, you just do whatever you do. You got it, boss. 7 hours. As the other 2 busied themselves searching through their respective sections of the room, Sev wandered back towards the spot he himself had first woken up from. Oil paintings with dark stains sat discarded in the corner of the room. As Sev moved past them, he could have sworn that their eyes followed him. Waiting. Watching. He tore his eyes away from the portraits and resumed his search. Most that grew between the floorboards cushioned his steps, though nothing would fully mask the creak that seemed to echo all throughout his body. Nini and Mikhail were like a thing of the past as Sev moved further and further into the shadows. Where are you? Who are you? A drip of liquid had landed on top of his head. It was ice cold. His eyes traveled upwards, but the ceiling was concealed in darkness. Whatever it was, he wouldn't know, and he thought that was probably for the better. As the brunette pushed aside furniture long broken, he heard it. A gentle whimper. He hastened his actions, tossing and throwing everything to the side without any care, which quickly attracted Mikhail and Nini's attention. A young woman, no older than 20, lay sleeping beneath the pile of debris. They worked together to pull her out and check her for injuries. Is she hurt? She's okay. She's just sleeping. I'm not sure if this makes you more or less suspicious. Bit of both. Sev cradled the woman to his chest. Her breathing seemed normal, and there wasn't a scratch on her body. We'll talk about it more later. We gotta wake her up and get moving. Excuse me, miss. Miss, it's time to wake up. She didn't stir, no matter how hard Sev shook her shoulders. This calls for something more serious. Should I be worried? No, it's not that bad. When I was in school, I found, but could never get me to wake up. She would hold me down and tickle me until I went blue in the face and passed out. Well, that's concerning. When I was in school, my mom could never get me to wake up, so she would hold me down and tickle me until I went blue in the face and passed out. It always worked. No comment. If you pass out, wouldn't you be in bed for longer? Oh yeah, that's why I'd get to stay home from school. Useless. It's not useless. You're useless. Hey, miss. Miss, what did you say your name was again? Rin. Nobody spoke her name. Her eyes fluttered open. They were a deep red, almost the same color as her dress. Her mouth opened slightly, as if she was about to say something in return, but instead she just smiled, her eyes locked onto Sev's. Rin, are you okay? Should probably ask her if her name is really Rin. I mean, this whack job is the one that said that was her name in the first place. Yes, my name's Rin. Do you know me? I don't think so. But he knew you were here somewhere, and your name, apparently. Thank you. Where are we? A haunted house. A haunted house. There's yet to be proof it's haunted. Maybe you're all ghosts and you're haunting me. If I was dead, I wouldn't waste my time haunting you. Am I really dead? Don't listen to him, Nini. That smile still on her face, Rin stood from the ground and looked around the room. Oh, what a dump. I feel like we have a lot to explain. I'll do the explaining while we walk. Come on, into the corridor. Mikhail practically dragged the other three out of the room, rushing towards their hopeful exit. The room beyond was even more starved for light than the entrance hall. Darkness crept into every corner, waiting for someone to become separated from the group so that they could be devoured completely. Let's make this quick. We were probably kidnapped. We all woke up separately in that room and we're stuck in some death game within 2 hours. Well, less than 2 hours now to escape. Got it? That's a little... I understand. Do you know who brought us here? No. And we have a little over an hour and a half left. This isn't good. That's putting it mildly. We need to go as quickly as possible and not waste any more time. Do you understand, Sebastian? I like when you call me Sev more. So, we have Sev. Mikhail. I'm Nini. This isn't the nicest way to meet, but it's nice to meet you all regardless. It's so dark. I don't suppose any of you saw a light switch. If this house even has lights, it looks old. There didn't used to be lights? Not before I invented electricity. Seb, you invented electricity? No, he didn't. I did. Wow. You're such an asshole. The further the group traveled, the more gloomy the lighting became, until it was almost pitch black. Finally, the hallway ended in a staircase. Beside it was some kind of plaque that was unreadable through the darkness. Mikhail ascended a single step of the staircase. Wait. This might be important. If it was important, they wouldn't leave it somewhere we couldn't read it. I agree, I don't think we should move on before we read it. Yeah. You're all as bad as each other. Fine, what's your solution then? Because we can't take it with us unless any of you are carrying a screwdriver. That's not a bad idea. What? Check your pockets for anything. A lighter, a torch, some matches. Who carries around any of those things? Even if we did, do you think whoever put us in here would let us keep them? Despite that, he too began checking his various pockets. Nothing, I'm afraid. I don't have anything either. Slowly, Mikhail produced something from his pocket. What was that you said? Who carries around those things? A small box of matches. Shut up, I didn't put them there. Well, I certainly didn't do it. Oh, really? Seeing that their arguing might continue for a while, Rin took the matches from Mikhail and struck one against the box, creating a shallow yet warm light. If you two are finished, it says... They instantly quieted down and gathered around Rin. Above, 2 doors you will find. To escape, you must split evenly. Choose not to, and your time remaining will have. Lucky we stopped to read that, huh? Yeah. The group, now all the wiser, ascended the staircase together. Rin led the way with Dini close behind her. Mikhail took up the 3rd position, while Sev was last. He turned around, looking down the empty corridor. For some reason, the house seemed awfully lonely all of a sudden, like the group had brought a little bit of life back to it. Now that they were continuing onwards, it was double as empty, double as abandoned. Inadvertently, Sev reached for his chest, where his heart sat. It felt empty, too. Ah! Oh, pump. It happened before Sev could even realize what he was doing. Whether he'd slipped, or stumbled, or a step had broken, he didn't know. All he knew was that Mikhail was walking a few steps ahead of him, moments before, and now he was caught safely in his arms, hugged close to that empty spot in his heart, which suddenly felt bursting with life. Shit, thanks, sorry. I think I tripped on something. For once, Sev found himself dumbstruck in such a way he didn't have a single thing to say, not even a joke. It's no problem. Oh, Sev. You and me. Hello, Eartha Sev, Sebastian. We know each other, don't we? Did I hit you in the head when you called me? My bad. Sev, Mika, are you two okay? Sev's heart beat loudly in his chest, to the same rhythm as his head began to throb. No, my head's, well, not exactly fine, but you didn't. I'm sure we know each other. Did you fall? You have to be careful in the dark. Let me go already. Jeez, you're starting to embarrass me with how hard you're staring. Luckily, Sev finally let Mikhail go, and the two rushed up the staircase to meet with Rin and Nini, who were peering down at them in worry. I'm glad you're both okay. Nini, you can come with me. Really? Yay! Wait a second. Is there a problem? Well, I guess not. Good, then we're all sorted. I'm sure we'll be back together soon enough. Make sure you two behave. Nah. Yes, ma'am. No need to worry, I'm always on my best behavior. Two girls took the door to the right. It didn't shut behind them. They wanted they could have followed after them. Instead, they turned to the door on the left. The atmosphere between the two men had turned slightly awkward. Guess we're taking this door. Guess so. He made no move to enter. Unless there's something you wanted to say to me? Trying to explain that picture in my head? You calling out my name? Clinging on to me? Where'd that come from? What? I don't have anything to say. Just hurry up. He turned his back on Seb and crossed into the room. Guess not. They shielded their eyes as they walked into the room. Although it couldn't be described as bright exactly, some light was finally present. Enough so that Seb found himself feeling overly self-conscious, which was particularly unlike him. Some kind of dining room. There's even still food out on the table, covered in a layer of dust so thick that you couldn't truly see the food beneath it. Want a bite? I'll feed it to you. Feed it to yourself. Why would I want to eat that? If you wouldn't eat it, why would I? The shake of his head, Mikhail walked to the other side of the room. The room went silent as their chatter cut off. I feel like I should say something to him. Sev's eyes scanned over the room. A tall window which seemed to lead nowhere. 2 chairs to the left, discarded in the corner of the room, huddled around a heater, and wallpaper that was torn from the wall, revealing the inner workings of the house for all to see. And through a doorway, another shut door with a panel beside it. We need a password to open the door. Whether Mikhail heard his words or not, he didn't respond. He was knelt in the corner of the room, looking down at something. Quietly, Sev walked up behind him and peered over his shoulder. In his hands, a purple stuffed animal in about the same condition as the rest of the house. He gazed at it with an expression filled with loneliness. How do I know you? What do I say to make you open up to me? Sev knelt down beside Mikhail. The black and white-haired man's eyes flickered up to greet him briefly, before he went back to staring at the toy in his hands. Your favorite color, isn't it? It is. This time, Mikhail's gaze held fast to Sev. Just noticed that Sev's wearing a purple sweater. Sev? Mika? We do know each other, don't we? I think so. How? I've never met you. I'm sure of that. I don't know. The moment I saw you, I knew. That somehow I knew you. Doesn't make any sense. Nope. It's like I have these memories hidden inside of me. But whenever I try to think about them, my head starts to pound. We need to keep this between us, okay? Why? I don't know who I can trust yet. There really is some history between us. Might be at an advantage if we know about it. Does that mean you trust me? Because I'd trust anyone else in a death game filled with strangers. Honestly, fair. Fine, I trust you. For now. I trust you too. Mikhail stood, putting some distance between the two men that had very quickly begun shrinking. Glad we're on the same page, which is why I'm enjoying this reunion. If you could call it that, we need to get moving. You said we needed a password. Yeah, for the door. And let's find it. But the other two are already waiting for us. Especially considering we only have an hour and a half left. If I was a spooky ghost and/or kidnapper, where would I find a secret code? How can one person be so flippant? Pretty easily. Go on, Mika. Time to escape. It's Mikhail. You didn't seem to mind a minute ago. Well, it's the principle of the thing and all that. Oh, how about this bad boy? Sev walked up to a large cabinet and opened the doors. It was empty. Looks pretty empty to me. You're not wrong. Behind it, then. No harm in trying. Help me push. Mikhail stood facing the cabinet, both hands on the aged wood. Are you deaf? I don't think so. Sev, with nowhere else to go, stood behind Mikhail, wrapping his arms around the man and set his hands against the cabinet. Why do you have to help me push in the most sexually awkward way possible? Smile, Sev pushed himself onto the tips of his toes and set his chin down on the top of Mikhail's head. Oh god. Oh god, my heart. Hehe. Okay, maybe we know each other, but you know we're also complete strangers, right? Do you do this to everyone? Only for special people. Right then, I'm meant to be a special person? Feels like you are to me. Just start pushing already. With a creak, the cupboard was pushed to the side, revealing what was hidden behind it. Another screen that seemed to match the one beside the locked door. I think we found what we were looking for. How does this thing have power anyway? The house is in ruins. I don't know, do I look like an electrician to you? Damn it, Jim. Aren't you an electrician? No. Huh. You definitely have the look going for you. I'm just going to ignore you. Sev took a step closer to the screen. On it was a simple question. What is Rin afraid of? What is Rin afraid of? What is this question? How are we meant to know? What are girls usually afraid of? Monsters? Vampires? Ghosts? First hallway, dining room? So that's what you're afraid of. Oh, right. Yeah. I feel like she told us. Huh? When? Before? Back in the church? Didn't peg you for a religious guy. No, we went through a game just like this. Stumbled back from the screen, tripping and falling until he hit the ground. Whoa, are you okay? Kel rushed to his side, quickly grabbing his hand to help him to his feet, but Sev just shook his head. I'm fine. I thought I saw Rin there. In that church, we spoke. Hands lingered. Sev's grip tightened on Mikhail. And do you know the answer? Yeah, I do. Sev, still holding Mikhail's hand tenderly, jumped to his feet and approached the screen. He raised his spare hand and started to type the answer with one finger. You don't have to cling on to me, you know? I don't have to, but I feel like if I let you go, I'll lose you again. Again? What? Did I say that? Yeah, you said again. Huh, I wonder why. Well, no time to dwell on that. Hey, wait. Answer time. Sebastian. She's afraid of the dark. There, easy. Oh, it changed. How old is Nini? Maybe 5 or so? Have you ever actually met a 5-year-old? She's gotta be older than that. I don't know, I'm not the one with memories that seem to answer all of our questions. She's... Pain traveled from the back of his head to the front, from behind his eyes, as if trying to force him to stop thinking. I got it. Really? How old is Nini? The screen faded to black before one word came up in white text. Repeating. Take it easy, we don't want that hit of yours to explode. So you do care? It'd be too messy to clean up. Despite his cool words, Mikhail still hung on tight to Sev's hand. I'll try the password. Wait a second. You're the one going on about not wasting time? Thanks. Wait, what did I do? Stuck with me even though I'm this insufferable. Out of the two of us, I'm definitely the more insufferable one. Guess we're a good pair, then. Guess so. To approach the door that would hopefully lead them closer to the exit to the nightmare they'd found themselves in. Beside it, a screen similar to the last, though smaller, and waited the passcode. Here goes nothing. Code is repeating. With a small click, the door unlocked. I suppose I'm a genius. Yeah, sure. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? We passed through the door to the room beyond, bickering back and forth like a married couple. The hallway beyond was much like the last. We need to find out if anyone else has any weird memories or things they're not telling us. How do you do that? Just walk up and ask? No, stupid, you need to be more tactful than that. Tactful is my middle name. No, your middle name is Tactless. No. Anyway, I'll try to talk to Nini, so you should stick to Rin. Yes, sir? Do you think it was one of them? One of them what? Knocked us out and dragged us here? Mikhail shrugged. It's a possibility. But you trust me. Like I said, for now. As the timer ticked down to a little over 1 hour remaining, the two rounded a corner in the corridor and came face to face with the other pair. Sevi! Mika! Nini, oh, I'm so happy to see you. You wouldn't believe what I've been through. Mikhail's been so mean to me, you know? Hey! Mikhail gasped. Really? Yes, if it's okay, you have to keep an eye on him for me. Okay, Sevi. I knew I could depend on you. So brave. Ah. Good job in there. You too. At least they gave us some easy questions, huh? Oh, I didn't mean that. Ray nodded down to their interlocked hands. Nah. You two seem to have grown quite close in our absence. She giggled lightly as Mikhail ripped his hand away from Sev's. It's not like that. Of course not. What's going on? You see. We don't need any more of your bullshit. Fine, I won't pry. I'm sure we'll have all the time in the world to chat about the two of you once we're out of here. It is not like that. It's a little like that. No, it's not. Just a little. No! The two of you make quite the unlikely pair. Give up. Escape yourselves, assholes. Kale sped up, quickly leaving the rest of the group behind, but he wouldn't be alone for long. I'll go get him. Nini, wait. But it was already too late. She broke into a run, chasing after the black and white boy. Oh, there's really no stopping their kids when they set their minds to something, huh? That's true. I'm sure she'll be a lot of trouble for her family in the future. Yeah, I bet. Can I ask you something? She beat me to it. Go for it. I want you to tell me about your life. My life? Before all of this, please. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Deal. It's not exciting or anything. I grew up in a little house in a small town. No brothers or sisters. My parents divorced when I was 10. Went to local schools all the way up to university. Then I left home. I think I had a neighbor. We were always together. Sorry, things are kind of fuzzy right now. So, you've had your fair share of struggles along the way, right? Of course, who hasn't? It's all been worthwhile, right? Yeah, all of it, every moment. Your turn now. Well, I was adopted when I was 8. My father and I lived in a big house in a field, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Just the two of us. He would drive me to school every morning and come pick me up, even though it took hours out of his day and I could have caught the bus. He would bake for me even though he couldn't cook. Every year he would hand-make my birthday cake, you know. It was always terrible and I loved it so much. He sounds like a great dad. I couldn't have asked for better. I only wish I could have done more. For him. To make him happier. Is this really her way of doing that? Finding a way to bring her dad together with his lifelong crush, best friend. As I could tell, he was always so full of sorrow. The moments where the dew would cling to the grass. Those hours as the sun rose, he would brighten up just for me, but I could still tell. I'm sure you did enough. She shook her head. And I asked him if it was all worthwhile. Do you know what he said? Yeah, all of it. Every moment. Before Sev could think of how to respond, they finally reached an open doorway at the end of the hallway. Beyond, faint voices could be heard. Well, guess we found them. Rin sniffled, wiped at her eyes with her dark sleeves, then smiled at Sev. Yeah, looks like it. Come on, we better hurry up. It's increasingly obvious that she is very much the shipper on deck for the two of them. And we also know from other pathways that she is, in fact, Nini, but grown up. It was the factory route between Sev and Nini that pretty much confirmed it. The room was large and spacious, and would have once been a ballroom that would rival that of royalty, yet now had fallen into disrepair, just like the rest of the house. Walls and the ceiling seemed like they could collapse at any moment, were adorned with graffiti boasting all kinds of colorful language. Like sick and slim. Further into the room, Nini was hanging off of Mikhail's arm as if he was a set of monkey bars. I'm gonna take a look around, okay? Got it. I'll go bother Mikhail. Alone, Sev bounded up to the man and pulled on his long sleeve. Can I take the other arm? No, you cannot. Oh, don't be so cold. Didn't you miss me? Not one bit. You have time to play around, and you have time to search for the next door code. What you're doing isn't playing around? I don't play around. Sure you don't. The sound initially seemed to come from the stage, as if a phantom band was playing a tune for their arrival. But soon after, the sound moved, as if it came from the very air they were breathing in. It was all around them, that gentle tune. See? I told you. Ghosts. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Ghosts! That's not reasonable. Anyway, we're not busy, so maybe you should go look somewhere else. Guess he's not done interrogating her. Yes, sir. You got it, sir. He rolled his eyes and turned back to Nini, purposefully putting his back to Sev. Rin was down to the ground, inspecting something that Sev couldn't see closely. A dance, milady? Rin jumped to her feet, her eyes filled with surprise. You surprised me! Any other time I'd take you up on your offer. Rejected, my poor heart. Shouldn't you be asking Mika anyway? Why him? It's not like we know each other that well. Maybe that will change in the future. Who knows? Rin, about your dad. Yes? He died, right? Yeah, not long ago. What will you do after this? After? I don't think I'll be going back home, to be honest. My home may not even still be there, but that's okay. As long as the rest of you are okay. Yeah, she's definitely the one doing this. Why would it be gone? I think what's happened here may change everything. Okay, really, it's okay, I'll be fine. Why not come with me then? I don't think it's that easy, but I do appreciate the sentiment. Rin, Zevi, Mika found something. Oh, he's now double the Mika. Mikhail crossed his arms as if he'd given up on insisting his name was Mikhail. It's some kind of math game thing. I don't know, I've never been good at math. He held up what looked like a tablet covered in dust. Sev took it from him and blew off the screen. Looks like we need to add up the 25 and 50. This should be a piece of cake. Are you good at math, Sevi? Not a chance. Nope. Give me a break. Maybe I should. No, and now I feel like I need to prove myself. Come on, Sebastian, you got this. Whoa. Like math-wise, 7, 14, 19, 22, 25. So I'm going to do it again. 10. 13. 16. 16. 13. 14. So 9, 13, 14, 16, 20, 25. Easy. Uh-huh, you didn't struggle at all. I never struggle. The code is time. Ah, yes, something we're running out of. We try on the door. Having way too much fun with this. You and I have something to talk about anyways. Come on. Whoa, hey. Whoa, hey. Whoa, hey. Cal grabbed Seb by the collar, causing surprised looks from both Nini and Rin. As he dragged the man towards the door, a rumble came from behind. Nini! Scream sounded. It echoed throughout the room, piercing through the melancholic melody. Seven McHale's heads whipped around in search of what had caused the scream. What? A section of the ceiling, which was at least 2 stories high, had pulled away from the rest and begun to fall. Seb broke away from McHale and ran, but he wasn't fast enough. When was he ever fast enough? When could he ever save anyone? The rebel never hit its target. Whoa! It had floated 5 feet above her head, her arms raised to shield herself. Ah? And it floated back upwards until it reattached itself to the ceiling. Nini? No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know. Calm down. I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry. What just happened? Nini. No, don't call me that. I'm sorry. What? With speed, she ran toward the locked door, inserted the code, and dashed through the now opened door. What the hell was that? I don't know, but it doesn't matter right now. We need to find her. Nini. The hallway beyond the ballroom was much larger than the last. Various doors sat open, leaving their contents free for anyone to examine. She could have gone anywhere. Let's split up. If we don't find her in 15 minutes, we'll meet up back here, okay? On it. Rin left first, dashing into one of the rooms. Sev, about Nini. We'll talk later, okay? Fine, just be careful, okay? They call me Careful Sebastian for a reason. Shut up, no one calls you that. The laugh, Mikhail ran in the other direction to Rin. Right, where would you be hiding, Nini? This happened before, didn't it? You ran away, and I found you. You were singing. Hush, hush, little lamb. Sev hummed a song of simple pleasures. Sunlight on your face, a home-cooked meal waiting for you, walking by yourself surrounded by nature. A song of sadness, of loneliness, of a lifetime of regret. A song of the past and the future. In response, a small voice sung back towards him. It was tiny, fragile. The voice of someone broken from years of being hated and shunned. But today she would be none of those things. Sev made his way down the corridor and he turned a corner. There she was, huddled into the darkness, trying to make herself as small as possible. Stay back, or one might hurt you. You wouldn't ever hurt anyone, Nini. I've hurt lots of people. My mommy, my daddy, my grandma. That's not true. They're the ones who hurt you. Sev slowly approached, keeping his hands up where she could see them, before he knelt down next to her. Quietly, he wrapped his arms around the young girl. In turn, she repeated the motion, her head buried at his shoulder. I'm not scared of you. Are you sure? You promise? Like Pinky promise. Do you want to tell me what happened back there? Sometimes things like that happen, but I can't control it. You can turn back time. She shrugged and pulled away. Dunno. That's why Mommy and Daddy didn't like me. And they didn't deserve a good daughter like you, that I'm sure of. You grew up in an orphanage. How did you know? It's hard to explain. I have a feeling that you and I were destined to meet, Nini. Sev's eyes went to the time remaining. 40 minutes. How about this? Once this is all over, why don't we live together? No more orphanage. If you want, that is. Can't promise I'm the most dependable person. Her eyes lit up as if the words that escaped his lips were magic. Oh. Really? Really? Yes. Sev stood from his place and held out his hand to the young girl, who instantly took it and sprung to her feet. Ren was right after all. About what? There you are. Oh, thank God you found her. What happened to meeting up in 15 minutes, asshole? You made me, us, worried. I said if we didn't find her, we'd meet up in 15 minutes. I found her. Don't get particular with me. Sorry, Rin. Rin smiled at her. It's okay. Are you alright? And he nodded furiously. Sev's gonna be my new daddy. What? Oh, lovely. Rin, can you take Nini with you and keep going? I need to talk to Sev. Rin looked towards Sev, who nodded. She seemed reluctant, but eventually she sighed and nodded herself. Okay, Nini, why don't we have a chat? Okay. Don't take too long, okay? The two left, rounding the corner and headed toward the next room. You're keeping something from me. What? I'm not. You are. Before you said you didn't want to lose me again. Why? It's nothing. Oh! It happened so suddenly, Sev didn't even have the chance to register what was happening. When they were a foot apart, the next Mikhail's lips were against his. Mikhail's eyes were shut tightly, his eyelashes quivering against his skin. He held on tight to Sev's collar, refusing to let him go. So Sev sunk into the embrace, closed his eyes, giving himself over to the feeling that was washing over his chest. Mikhail's lips were soft against his, warm like a summer's morning, comfortable like they simply belonged there. Mikhail's hands trembled as he clutched tighter, as if afraid that if he let go of Sev, he would disappear. The fluttering of Sev's stomach hadn't subsided as Mikhail finally pulled away, gasping for breath. It's pissing me off that you know something and you're not telling me. What happened to trust, huh? Wait a second, stop. You just kissed me. I'm so bad I could kiss you again. Mikhail's eyes darted away as his face became an even deeper shade of red. So, got a problem with it? No problem. Then don't complain or I won't do it again. But why in the first place? You were just yelling at me. It just happens like that sometimes, because I felt like I had to, in case I lost you again. Look, I don't know if I'm crazy or if my memories are all fake. I saw you die, over and over again. Train where you and I were best friends. You were on a bed and you hugged me. Then you died. I died. You sacrificed yourself to save the rest of us. That's not the only time. You went to church and you hated me for some reason, and then you died. Well, we all died. But we're alive. Was there more times? In the factory, we didn't know each other yet then. You and Rin, you both died. How? How could that be possible? What did you want to tell me about Nini? She lets slip that she knows Rin. They met before we were locked in here. And then after we saw what she did back in the ballroom, I was suspicious. There must be some answer here. To what's happening? Your guess is as good as mine. Wait, whoa, what? Wait, what? What did I just do? What just happened here? Hold up, what the fuck just happened here? What? Hold the fuck up here, what? Can't just throw me into this shit without any warning? Help! T! I! Time. Time law. Loop. What is it? You saw what Nini did. We all did. We're stuck in some kind of time loop. There it is. We're quite close to the end here. I don't really know how long we have left till the ending, but yeah, if it's not long enough to fit into a full video, this will be kind of tucked at the end of previous part. But we're stuck in some kind of time loop. Time's just been repeating. We've met each other over and over and over again, and watched each other die over and over and over again. You realize how insane you sound right now, right? More insane than usual, it is. Then everything makes sense. Hold on, not quite everything. Why? Why would we be stuck in something like that? That I have no clue about. We need to go find the other two. Now. Wait. Wait for what? You see, I'm afraid that I might trip over something in this dark house if we're going to run, so I think for safety reasons we may need to hold hands. You are so ridiculously full of shit. He held out his hands in opposition to his harsh words. Hehe. And Siv took it as they nearly broke into a run. They followed the corridor, twisting and turning, checking every doorway for the pair. And finally they felt it. A breeze. Escaping out from a door at the end of the corridor, to the pair that were used to the stale air already, it felt like heaven. I'd say that's what we were looking for. Oh, there you two are. Sevi, Mika. You won't believe this. We did it. The door's open. We can go. We can finally leave. Nini, I need to ask you something important, okay? Please, can we leave first? We can talk about it after. It has to be now. Nini, that's not your real name, is it? Wait, what? Yes, it is. You can tell me the truth. My name is Nini. It is, isn't it? Your name is Rin, isn't it? Sev, what are you? All but confirmed. Nini clutched the front of her dress, her lips tightly sealed. Sev turned to Rin. You're the one doing this to us, aren't you? Putting us through this over and over again, repeating time. This is all a way for, try and find an ending where... No, yeah, because we know Nini kind of has some sort of time manipulation powers that's what drove her birth parents away. Right? We know from their respective chapters that Nini and Rin are ostensibly the same person. She what? Mikhail, a frown on his face, went to approach Rin, but Sev put his arm out to stop him. Of course not. I have no clue what you're talking about. Come on, we need to go. Nini, Rin gave you that dress, didn't she? And she told you that if you came with her, you would be adopted by someone you met. No. And Rin, you were adopted yourself, weren't you? Sebastian, I don't know what you're trying to insinuate, but it's not possible. Unless you have power over time itself, as Nini demonstrated. You're the same person, aren't you? At his words, even Nini looked towards Rin with surprise. Please, we're so close to escaping. You don't even want us to escape? All I want is for you to escape. Rin yelled out her response, tears in her eyes. Whatever the first instance of this was, Mikhail died. Rin wasn't there. Because Rin is what happened. Then explain it to us, please. I guess the question is, what was the first timeline that started all of this? Obviously, Mikhail died. It was just young Rin, Nini, Sebastian, and Mikhail. Mikhail died somehow. Sebastian adopted Rin, raised her. And we know ostensibly that her wish was for him to have been happy. Like, he still looked back on that person he lost in his past. Referencing her dad. Original timeline, Sebastian. Rin's eyes met the ground. You've always been far too clever for my tricks. Don't blame Nini. She didn't know. I didn't tell her. I won't. Nini finally let go of the front of her dress and ran towards Sev, latching onto him. Where to begin? At the start would help. I was only a child when I was abandoned by my family. I ended up in an orphanage, but no one ever wanted me. A young woman with dark red eyes broke into my orphanage in the middle of the night. For some reason I wasn't scared. The gentle look in her eyes told me she wouldn't hurt me. She told me that if I went with her and played a simple game, then I could have a family again. Wait, so you're not the original? And so I went. And so I played that game, and I met my adoptive father. The person my father loved dearly died that day. My father and I lived a quiet life. We were happy together, but he didn't speak much about the man he loved much after what happened. Not until he was on his deathbed. And that's you, Dad. You're from the future? Yes, that's right. And the me from the future, I told you to come back and do all this? No, I think this is something you wanted to do, Rin. Just to create a timeline where your dad got to keep the person he loved. And adopted you. So they could live happily together. Whole family. Rin shook her head, her long, light hair swaying around her as she did so. You told me not to. You told me the life we had together was enough. But I had no choice. For me to get adopted by you in the first place, I had to come back here and relive everything. And why? Why is it repeating? Why have my memories been so jumbled? I just wanted to find the timeline where both you and Mikhail would survive. But doing so started messing with our memories. All 4 of our memories. Even now, I'm not exactly sure what is true and what is false. Wait a second. What? Wait, I'm the one he's in love with? That died? Rin nodded solemnly. In response, Mikhail crossed his arms and looked away. At the same moment, the timer hit 5 minutes remaining. I've seen tragedy after tragedy, so many times when you nearly survived but then didn't. This time I think you've really done it. Look, this all sounds crazy. Can we maybe leave and talk about it some more? Yeah, come on. We have a lot of talking to do. Sev, Mikhail, and Nini all turned to leave, but Rin held her place. Rin, let's go. She simply shook her head and raised her hand. Her hand which had become transparent enough to see all the way through. Whoa! What? What's happening? Finally found it. The timeline where you all survive. Oh, the timeline. Oh, this is some timey-wimey shenanigans right here. But what's happening to you? A timeline where Mikhail survives means that Rin doesn't have to come back and start this all over again. So, something paradox, this Rin would no longer exist, so erased from existence. My timeline's disappearing, and me with it. No, wait! She walked forward, kneeling down in front of Nini and wrapping her arms around the little girl. You're a strong girl, Rin. Sorry for making you lie. I know you don't like lying. Make sure to look after your new dads, okay? Tears overflowed from Nini's eyes as she nodded furiously. I promise. I'll look after them for you. Next, she walked up to Mikhail, who was standing stoically, trying his best to look indifferent. That all changed as she wrapped his arms around him in turn. Mikhail, Mika! Thank you for everything. For all the times we've met, I feel like if we've gotten to know each other better than I could have ever imagined. Now I understand why my dad loves you as much as he does. Oh, wait, this is all this is all progressing very quickly. I can't. She took a step back from Mikhail, who had tears overflowing from his eyes. Thanks, Rin. Lastly, she approached Sev. Before she could hug him, he had already embraced her first. Thank you, Dad, for things you haven't done yet, but will, for everything you gave me. I hope this repays even a little bit of the kindness you showed me. No, thank you, Rin. He hugged her extra tight, but she was already beginning to be hard to grasp. I'm scared, Dad. I'm scared of dying, and I don't want to go. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Everything will be okay. Dawn will break, and tomorrow will come, and you'll be okay. Because you're strong and kind and hardworking. We'll be okay, together. You promise? I pinky promise. His shoulders had long become damp with her tears. She pulled back and placed her hand against his cheek. Gently, tenderly. Thanks, Dad. Aww. And with that she disappeared into the breeze, becoming one with the world around her. Warning. 10 seconds remain. His tears fell silently to the ground as he watched the space she had been in only moments ago. Sev, come on, we need to go. For her. Yeah, Nini, Rin, Mikhail, let's leave. Together. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. The building began to shake and tremble, crumbling around them as they, hand in hand, shot out of the door and into the fresh air. The moon was high in the sky. A cool breeze reminded them free, that they were alive as they collapsed to the dew-covered grass of the outside world. Oh, that's cute. There, side by side, they stared up at the star-filled sky, and each gave a silent prayer to the one that had allowed them this blessing. To another self, to a would-be sister, to a daughter, to a friend, true and dear. There, where he finally found their future. Oh! That was really sweet. For such a... That was a really sweet outcome. And it's still a little perplexing with how it started. How this loop began. But I suppose that doesn't actually matter, does it? Oh, please save here if you'd like to be able to go back to your flowchart. Thank you for playing Start Again. Oh. There we have it. I suppose. After starting again so many times, I didn't mean to actually quit out of the game, but alas. After starting so many times, we finally no longer need to start again. We found that golden timeline where everyone lives. Sev, Mika, Rin. Just like that. Just like that, we get a happier future. It's interesting. I was gonna say, might not be 100% clear what the heck is even responsible for these exploding death games. If it even is anything responsible for it. Maybe the original was legitimately some sick, twisted game. Was there even an original game? Was the original... No, that's... bit hard to process. How it all started. Was there a death game at the very start? It didn't seem like it. But then again, there might have been, I don't know. And honestly, it doesn't matter. At the point where we start getting into these timelines, it's been going on long enough that it really doesn't matter anymore. Gotta say, it's... Don't think it's likely that Rin was putting on the death games herself, even though some of the clues and the puzzle setups made it seem that way a little bit. Because in her explanation, she was essentially retreading timelines, retreading universes, looking for the timeline where everybody survives the death game. Maybe the original was a death game that was just Sev and Mika in, and other unknown participants. Maybe I'm thinking too much about that. Like I said, it doesn't matter. It's ultimately, there we go in the other time loop. One way or another, we have a Rin who gets pulled into a death game by her older self. She meets her eventual adoptive father and his potential or future BF, who he is absolutely, one way or another, totally, absolutely in love with. You really felt the differences in the timelines they were jumping to back and forth, even beyond just the change in setting of said death game. I was gonna say, I think I originally theorized that there was like an order to things that progressed their relationship, but it really wasn't. It's just normal variations in timelines, just location, relationships between them. Like with their relationships at different stages, factory timeline where there was literally nothing between them. Train timeline where they were good friends on the verge of confessing their love, mutual love. The church timeline where Mika had confessed, but Sev had bottled it up and tanked the relationship. There's different ways that relationship could have gone. I suppose those were the two objectives of replaying timelines, working through these variations, trying to find one where the variables fell into place, where their relationship could progress to a point where they could be happy together, and lacking just enough danger to the point where they wouldn't die before the end. And we got that. Let's say, even though, like, the use of locks in the other three timelines were limited, I think the way they disseminated information throughout those three routes that led into the fourth route, the golden timeline, I think that was really well done. I suppose in theory, if you were playing this a different way, you could have played till you met Rin, then gone back to the main timeline, progressed through until you hit another one of the questions, played through until you learned that information, and possibly, if you had played through the golden route, like piecemeal, you probably would have seen the locks show up on the scenes, and seen when you got the information you needed to unlock that. I'm really happy with the way I played through this, I think, to the point where we were able to piece together pretty much everything that we needed to put the plot together by the end. Especially playing Rin's and Nini's routes side by side. That just really brought her story together in a really nice way. In a way that, yeah, that really let us piece that together, work that out. I liked that. I really did. That was really well done for a game made in a month. I really enjoyed this. really sweet and heartfelt. And the questions I was pondering earlier with regards to how the game started, what was the prime timeline, all that snaz, that's all stuff that could have been worked out. Later on down the line. Most important stuff got done in a month. It's really impressive this got done in a month. Really enjoyed that. A sucker for timeline games. For multiple timelines. Sucker for sweet heartfelt. I'm a sucker for sweet heartfelt stuff like this too. Ugh. That felt good. That was... I'm feeling really warm and fuzzy right now, and I needed that. So thank you. Take care, everyone, and have a good night. Until next time, till then, thank you for watching.